The different kinds of solidarity. First is as to parties bound, the second is as to source, and the third is as to uniformity. In the as to parties bound, there is under of three, which is the active solidarity, the passive solidarity, and the mixed solidarity. When we say active solidarity, it is solidarity on the part of the creditors, where any one of them can demand payment of the entire obligation from any one of the debtors. The passive solidarity on the part of the debtors, when any one of them can compel to pay the entire obligation. And the mixed solidarity on the part of the debtors and the creditors, or on the part of the obligors and the obliges, where each of the debtors is liable to render, and each one of the creditor has a right to demand compliance of the entire obligation. Second is as to source. Conventional solidarity, where when solidarity expressed as stipulated in the contract or agreed upon by the parties. Next is the legal solidarity, when solidarity is imposed by law. Third is as to uniformity. Uniform solidarity obligation, when parties are bound by the same stipulation. Contrary in the non-uniform or varied solidarity obligation, when parties are not bound by the same stipulation. Indivisibility and solidarity as to nature. Indivisibility. It refers to the prestation that is not capable of partial performance. In solidarity, it refers to the legal tie or vinculum juris, and consequently to the subject of the parties of the obligation. Next, as to plurality of the subject. In indivisibility, exists even there is only one creditors and one debtors. Dapat isa lang ang nangungutang at nagpapautang. In solidarity, it exists only if there are more than one creditors and more than one debtors. Higit pa sa isa. Next is the as to right of the creditor. Each creditor cannot demand more than one share, and each debtor is not bound to pay more than his share. Ang nagpapautang ay hindi pwedeng maningil ng higit pa sa kanyang pinautang, at ang nag-utang or umutang ay hindi dapat magbayad ng higit pa sa kanyang inutang. In solidarity, as to right of the debtor, in solidarity, each creditor may demand the entire prestation, and each debtor is bound to pay the entire prestation. Ang nagpautang ay pwedeng maningil ng higit pa. Gayun din ang umutang ay magbabayad ng higit pa sa kanyang inutang. Maybe it's the interest. So, as to the effect of breach, obligation is converted into indemnity for damages, and indivisibility is terminated. While in the solidarity, it remains. Solidarity it is in remains. So next is the as to the liability of the debtors. First, as to the liability of the debtors in indivisibility. Only the debtors are guilty of breach of obligation is liable for damages. In solidarity, all the debtors are liable for the breach of the obligation committed by the debtor. Last is as to the effect of the insolvency of the debtors. In solidarity, it is all debtors are proportionately liable for the insolvency of the debtors. In indivisibility, other debtors are not liable even if the debtor is insolvent. Article 1211 says that solidarity may exist although the creditors and the debtors may be bound in the same manner and by the same period in conditions. Ang solidarity o pagkakaisa in Tagalog term ay umiiral bagamat ang pinagkauutangan at ang nagkautang ay maaaring nakatali sa parehong paraan at sa parehong panahon at kondisyon. Solidarity despite the different terms and the condition, which is the uniform and the non-uniform or varied solidarity of obligation. So here is the problem. In 2004, A, B, and C are bound themselves in solidum to give X 300,000 pesos subject to the following stipulation or terms or conditions. When A is to pay in 2005 and D if he passes the bar exam and C in 2007. So the question is, in 2005, how much can X demand from A? The answer is only 100,000 pesos. Since this is solidary, X has a right to of 300,000 pesos the whole minus B share and C, which is 100,000 pesos. So 100,000 pesos plus 100,000 pesos is equals to 200,000 pesos minus the 300,000 pesos. So the total is 100,000 pesos. In 2007, X can collect from A the 100,000 pesos corresponding to C. The moment B passes the bar exam, X can also collect from A the share of 100,000 pesos. Next question. Suppose X instead made demand on C in 2005, how much he can collect from C? The answer is only 100,000 pesos. The share corresponding to A, because C own share has not yet matured and B has not yet passed the bar. Note that in both problems, the rule is that the whole solidarity obligation can be recovered from any of the solidarity debtors minus the share of those unmatured conditions or terms. Article 1212. Article 1212. Each one of the solidarity creditors may do whatever may be useful to the creditor, but not anything which may be prejudicial to the latter. Ang bawat isa sa magkakasamang nagpautang ay pwedeng gumawa ng mga kapaki-pakinabang na hakbang para sa kanya at sa kanyang nagpautang, sa kanyang mga kasama. Maliban na lang sa hakbang na makakapinsala sa kanila. Article 1213. A solidarity creditor cannot assign his right without the consent of the others. Hindi pwedeng ipasa ng nagpautang ang kanyang karapatan sa iba nang walang pahintulot ng mga kasamahang nagpautang. Why? Because each creditor represents the others and the assigned may not have the confidence of the original solidarity creditors, considering that the assigned after reviewing payment may not give the share of the others. But there is the exemption. Number 1, if he is allowed if all the other consent. Kung binigyan siya ng karapatan ng mga kasamahan niyang ipasa yung karapatan niya sa iba. Next is the assignment to a co-creditor or the jurado.